Yeah, we're gonna learn about the system of linear equation by elimination. We got 3x plus 5y equals to 12, 4x minus 3y equals to 13. So in this case, we have to find a way of eliminating this and getting one of the equations so that we solve for the other ones. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna multiply these numbers to get the least common multiple. So what I'm gonna do here is I multiply this side by -4, I change this to negative, and I leave this one as positive. So -4 times 3x will be -12x, because we have one negative, so a negative times a positive will be a negative. And then -4 times 5y, because I have one negative, it's gonna be it's gonna remain as -20y equals to -4 times 12. So since I have one negative, the answer will be 48. So it's going to be -48. The second one, they're all positive. The first one is positive. So positive 3 times 4x will be 12x. 3 times -3, because I have one negative, is going to be -9y equals to 3 times -13. Since I have one negative, the answer will be -39. So I have to add up these ones. I have to add them. -12 plus +12. It's just as saying -12 plus 12. This one is just like subtracting from each other. It's just like subtracting two numbers from one another. So I'm going to have 0 on this side. -20 plus -9. This one is, because since we have two negative in addition, you just add the two numbers as there, and then you retain the negative sign. So I'm gonna have -29y equals to -48 plus -39. It's just like adding the two numbers together, and then you retain the negative sign again. So it will be 9 plus 1 is 7. 17, I mean 17, you 7, you put 7 and then you carry 1. 7 plus -7 plus -3 is -8, you add 1, -7, you add 1, -8, so it's going to be -87. All right, the next step is to have y on one side. So what am I going to do? I'm going to divide both sides by -29, and this side -29. So this one cancels one another. What I'm going to have on this side is y by itself, -87 divided by -29. Since I have two negatives here, my answer is going to be positive. So -87 divided by 29 is, let me try with 3. 29 times 3, 27, you got it, 2, 6, 8, 8, 7, yeah. It's going to be 3. So 3. So since I have two negatives in division, the answer will be positive. So my answer will be 3. Now I have my y as 3, positive 3. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to substitute or to plug in the 3 in all the places that I have y. So let me start with the first one. 3x plus 5. Now instead of putting y, I'm gonna put 3. Okay, equals to 12. I'm gonna find the value of x now. What I'm gonna do is to 3x plus 5 times 3 is 15 equals to 12. To get x on one side, what am I gonna do? I have to subtract from both sides. Okay, so I'm gonna have my 3x as positive 15 minus 15 is 0, they cancel. And here 12 minus 15 is going to be -3. All right, the next thing is 3x equals to -3. I have to find the value of x, so I have to remain with x on one side. So I'm going to divide by 3, divide by 3. Okay, my x equals to -3 divided by 3. Whenever you have one negative in either division or multiplication, the answer will be negative. But if you have two negative here, the answer could have been positive. So what am I gonna do? divide by 3, 1, divide by 3, 1. So since I have one negative, my x will be negative 1. All right. Now I have my y as 3, x as negative 1. So this is how we put it. Negative 1 and y as 3. All right, let's see if what we get is the correct answer now. I'm gonna try to plug in now again. Instead of putting x, I'm gonna put negative 1. Instead of putting y, I'm gonna put 3. So 3, instead of x, I'm gonna put negative 1. Plus 5, instead of putting y, I'm gonna put 3 again. And see if the answer will be 12, if 12 is the correct answer. So 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. You have to multiply by whatever is in the parentheses or in the bracket with what is outside. Negative 3 plus 5, positive 5 times 3 is 15, equals to 12. Yeah, so you have negative 3 minus 15. Yeah, my answer is just like saying negative 3 and then you add positive 15. So it's just like subtracting these numbers from one another, and then you retain the integer sign of the highest value, which is positive. So my answer is now 12. This one is correct. Let's try the second one. Let's try with the second one now. The second one is 4. Instead of x, I'm gonna put negative 1 minus 3. Instead of y, I'm gonna put 3 and see if I'm gonna arrive at the answer, which is negative 13. So 4 times negative 1. Always, if you have one negative in multiplication or division, your answer should always be negative. So it's gonna be negative 4. All right. Before I put plus or minus, I have to multiply with what is in the bracket or what is in the parentheses with what's outside to see if I'm gonna have a positive or a negative. So negative 3 times 3 is gonna be negative 9, and we see if the answer is gonna be 13. All right. In this case, if you have an integer, in the rules of the integer, if you have a subtraction, if you are subtracting a negative from a negative or a positive from a negative, this is what you should do. So instead of, there is a rule for this one. So I'm gonna put negative 4. Instead of this one, if it's minus, you change to plus. And then this one is positive. We don't see the positive sign, but it's hidden. So I have to change it to negative. Negative 9. Okay, so it's like adding a negative and a negative, which is you add the two numbers, but the sign will be negative. Okay, so my answer is going to be negative 13. That's what we got, and that's how we're going to work out. Okay, that's the easiest way of solving this system of equation by elimination.